just started my web page. I appreciate y'all viewing it. I'm actually trying to get into this fishing professionally or fishing full time. And so what I want to do with this website is just kind of give you all some pointers, some techniques, a little bit of stuff that I know, and just have you give your feedback, and we kind of learn together. So what I want to talk about today is jig fishing. So jig fishing is what I love to do. That's my go-to, right? So when you hear somebody say I'm catching them on a jig, that seems simple, but really there's a lot of things that could go into it. Is it a football jig? Is it a hair jig? Is it a arky top head? Is it a round head jig? And the big thing is the trailer. So that's what means so much when you're jig fishing, or what I've found, is what type of trailer are you throwing on the back, and why does that make a difference? So kind of what I want to cover today is just that. So there's 1,000 different type trailers out there that you can put on a jig. Some pretty conventional, like the chunk type trailer, which this is particular one is a Zoom chunk trailer, and it's pretty simple. It just goes on the jig, you know, something like that. So it just hangs off the bottom of the jig. Um, and there's a ton of different variations from these. Reaction Innovation makes these, Zoom makes these, Big Bite Baits makes these. So, what's the difference? And with any jig trailer, the big difference is the claw, right? So you got fat claws, you got small claws, and what that does is control the fall rate of the jig, and that means more than anything. So when you're selecting a jig to throw, of course you have different sizes. You have half ounce, 5/8, 3/4, 3/8, 3/16, 1/4, on and on and on. So another thing that controls the fall other than weight, probably more so than anything, is the trailer itself. So that's what I want to talk about today. How do I choose what trailers I use for a jig? So a lot of that's got to do with what time of year it is and how the fish are related to the structure. Okay, if I'm fishing a treetop in 13 foot of water and I'm throwing a jig, if I see the fish on my graph in the top of the tree, I want to use a jig that falls at a slower rate. Line size can play into this too. Okay, the larger line size is slower to fall, and vice versa. So I want to cover the trailers that I use, and you all can come in and put in the type trailers that you use, and maybe we can figure out what works best in what situation. So the example I gave earlier, you know, I want a slow fall. The fish are suspended under docks or on the top of a tree or suspended along a bluff wall. I want to give them a slow fall presentation. So in that type application, I may choose, and this particular jig right here is one that I made. It's just a ball head type. It's got an all natural rubber skirt, and what that does is that skirt really flares in the water, so that also helps control that fall, that slower rate of fall. Okay, the ball head makes it fall more in a circular rotation rather than just darting straight to the bottom. So when I'm fishing for suspended type fish with a jig, especially dock fishing or deep bluff falls, this is the jig that I choose. It's a 1/4 ounce ball head jig with an all natural rubber skirt. Okay. So what trailer do I use with this jig? I really go through a couple different options. My personal favorite is the Rage Crawl. It's a pretty common jig trailer. A lot of people use it on wobble heads, shaky heads, things like that. I love it for a jig trailer. The reason I like it so much for slow fall applications is the way the claws are designed. They got this little rib. Right? This little rib causes it to have resistance in the water and really makes those claws flap as it's falling. So it's going to slow my rate of fall down. usually bite this top section off right here, but I'm the pole man, so I'm not going to do it because I'm going to use this trailer. Okay, I usually bite this top section off right here before I put it on the jig. Alright, another thing that I do, this is soft bait glue. Alright, you can find it at Tackle Warehouse, and really you can get super glue from Home Depot. But what this does is hold my trailer up on the jig. If you fish a jig much, you probably ran into two occasions to where your jig trailer tries to fall off the jig. It's constantly slipping down the hook. A dab of this right on top of the trailer before you put it on will really stop that from happening. And another thing is when your jig tears right in here and it doesn't want to hold on the hook, a dab of glue right there will hold it up in place on the hook. So that's another thing I use. Now, let's say it's summertime and my fish are on the bottom and I'm using a football jig. That's a fairly common technique, right? For fishing points, humps, ledges. For me, it kind of took the place of the Carolina rig because my quality of fish goes up when I'm throwing a football jig. But I try to do things a little bit differently than most, right? My own little niche. So, if I'm throwing a football jig like this one, if you don't know what a football jig is, the shape of the head is pretty much just shaped like a football. What I like to use is a Zoom Magnum speed worm. It's a vibratel speed worm. They call it a vibratel because it has a notch cut out in it for the tip. Okay. What I do is put this on my, and again I use the glue with this as well, really with any trailer. I bite off a pretty good section of the worm because I don't want a huge profile, and I just thread it up on the hook like so. Okay. I try to get the part that's pointed up to swim with the jig. Alright. So I would say that this one's put on backwards, okay, because my jig's gonna come on the bottom like so. I'm getting crossed up there, talking. So this is the direction that I want it to face in as it's coming along the bottom. The presentation looks something like this in the water. Now I don't stroke football jigs. That's the mistake that most people I fish with throwing a football jig make. They stroke it, meaning they pick it up off the bottom and let it fall back down. This jig is not designed to do that. This jig is designed to stay on the bottom and in contact with the bottom at all times. So basically what I do to keep myself from picking it up off the bottom is I throw this trailer, so when I reel it, the trailer has constant action, and I just give it a slow grind type reel, a start and stop type reel. When I hit a big rock or a piece of structure, I just stop it dead still and let it sit there. Okay, the jig's actually designed to when it hits a rock or something hard on the bottom, it will stand up. Okay, so I also throw conventional type trailers on this as well, but my favorite for a football jig is some type of a paddle tail or swim bait. So let's say I'm flipping in at springtime and I'm flipping tight cover. Alright, that's probably the most common use of a jig in bass fishing today. That's what people use more than anything at all. Okay, so most people use an Arky style jig, an Arky head. About everybody's familiar with this type. This particular one's made by Shooter. It's a local company here in South Carolina. It's got a hand-tied skirt. It's a really nice jig, good paint job. The paint doesn't really flake off much on it, so it's a very nice, high-quality jig. So what trailer do I normally use for this? My favorite trailer, bar none. This is a Big Bite Baits Yo Mama. You can also find them at barlowstackle.com, which is the way I buy them in bulk. But it's Yo Mama. It's a beaver style bait, meaning that it has the ribs here, the two little flappers, and again the claws are very large. Okay, so it gives me a slow fall or a slow action. If I want to speed that fall up, instead of the 4.5 inch design like this one, I go with the 3.5 inch, which has a little bit smaller profile and it allows my jig to get down further. faster. Okay, so this is my favorite. All right. What about swim jigs? That's become a pretty popular technique lately. Swim jig, like this one. This is my favorite. It's the all orange jig. It's just something a little bit different. I love this jig. A good buddy of mine named Kevin Edge makes this at Edge Tackle, and he makes these for me. Swim jig has the pointed type head, which allows it to come through the water and gives you a straight swimming action. Okay. Um, what trailer do I use for those? My personal favorite is Reaction Innovation, a little different. All right. Um, sorry, I gotta open my pack up here. Again, I usually order these from Barlow's Tackle. I can buy them in bulk cheaper. Um, one second. I apologize. Just tear it into them. There you go. So that's it, right? It's just a paddle tail. It's a small design. And again, the same thing. My jig is going to run like this in the water. Okay. Point it up. I'm going to thread this guy on there like so. So when I'm reeling it in, it comes through. So that's definitely my favorite for that type of application. Swim jig. I love to throw a swim jig. Okay. Don't think for a minute that you can't take a swim jig design and skip docks with it and work it like a normal jig either. Okay. So very cool technique. It's kind of a newer thing. It's been out for a while, but a lot of people don't do it. So you can go behind a lot of people who's throwing a spinner bait and do the same thing. And FYI, I also use this on my chatterbaits as well. Okay. So you can get these in pearl, white, sexy shad, green pumpkin, like this one is. So that's really about it. That's kind of how I choose my trailers, what goes on when. Again, slow fall, you want a big claw on your trailer, you want some heavy line and a smaller weight jig. You really need to find that rate of fall, because what I've found is that rate of fall is really what's going to determine you getting bit and not. So experiment, try different sizes, try different line sizes, try different trailers. But again, if you want a slower fall, the bigger trailer, bigger line, smaller weight. A faster fall, lighter line, smaller trailer, bigger weight. Okay, so find that happy medium there. I found that color in trailers, I stay basic: black, blue, green pumpkin, and maybe a watermelon. And that's pretty much what I do. What I found is my color pattern really matters in my color selection on the jig, not so much the trailer itself. One other thing you might want to try on jigs, just to increase your hook set or your hook ratio, is I like to take my weed guard and go right at the top of the hook here and trim it back in an angle, just to kind of expose that hook a little bit more. What I also like to do is trim my skirts. You see a lot of guys trimming skirts. So basically what I like to do when I trim a skirt is give it a little bit of flare. So I like to cut those off at an angle like so, and get them about level with the bottom of the hook. And then those back guys, I like to get them pretty short, because it gives it a natural flare. If you can see how the back of that is now flared up since I've trimmed it, because the weight of the skirt isn't quite as low. So a couple things you can try. Give them a try. Throw me your feedback if you watch this. Tell me what you think. And again, thank you guys for watching this. And hopefully the next one will be on the water next weekend. So appreciate it. Have a good one.